There comes a time in life, quietly, almost politely, when we begin to notice that the world does not look to us in the same way that it once did. Not in a bitter sense, not even in a sad sense. More like a gentle shift in the wind, or when an old path gradually becomes overgrown. We, who have lived some years, can feel it. A sense that expectations have faded, even though our capacity, our depth, and our desire to give have not. And this is not loneliness. Loneliness has its own shape, its own weight. This is something more subtle. It's the realization that society, busy, rushing, moving ever faster, does not turn to us as often, even though we carry entire universes of experience within us. We remember what it felt like when the world needed us every day, when children depended on us, or a spouse counted on us, or a vocation called our name before the sun came up. We remember being the ones with answers, or at least the ones who had to find them. There was a rhythm to those years, a purpose that was woven into the hours, sometimes without us even noticing. But seasons change, children grow, relationships evolve or end, or pass beyond this world. The pace of society accelerates and seems to favor the quick, the new, the endlessly updated. And somewhere in all of that, without any ceremony, the world stops asking quite so much of us. Yet inside, something very different is happening. Inside, we feel an expansion. We carry more understanding than ever before. We have a deeper capacity for compassion, for patience, for listening, for insight. We are more aware of what truly matters and, more importantly, what does not. It's an interesting paradox. When the world expects less of us, we actually have more to offer. But offering does not always require an audience, and wisdom does not need a spotlight. Sometimes what we have to give now is meant to be shared in quieter ways. We do not want to lecture, nor instruct, nor impose. We remember well what it felt like to be young, to want to carve our own path, to push away anything that resembled guidance that wasn't asked for. And we respect that. We honor the younger generation's need to find their own way, just as we did. But still, here we are, alive, creative, curious, carrying stories that have shaped us, and patience earned the long way, carrying love that has been tested, and wonder that has survived all the seasons of life. And sometimes we need to remind ourselves gently that invisibility is not the same thing as irrelevance. Being less seen does not mean being less needed. It simply means that our place in the great turning of life has changed shape. So we learn to offer ourselves in new ways, not as teachers standing at the front of a room, but as steady lights along a path. Lights that people may or may not look toward, but they shine all the same. There's a quiet dignity in that, a maturity that does not demand attention, a love that asks for nothing in return. And we might say to ourselves in the world that does not ask for us loudly anymore, we can still ask something of ourselves. We can ask ourselves to remain open, to remain creative, to remain loving, to remain curious, to remain willing to step into the next moment with warmth instead of withdrawal. It is not always easy. There are days when the silence feels heavy, days when the world seems made of quick decisions and short attention spans. And we wonder how our slower, deeper rhythm fits into any of it. But the truth is, depth has its own timing, its own gravity, and its own purpose. And every generation, whether they acknowledge it openly or not, looks to the generations before them for something steady, something grounded, something that time itself has refined. Not advice necessarily, not instruction, but presence. Presence is its own gift, one that never expires. We do not have to fight to be seen. We do not have to insist on being needed. We simply have to be who we are, with the fullness of our humanity intact. There is a new kind of creativity that awakens in these years, a creativity that is not rooted in ambition or proving ourselves, but rather in expression, pure expression, like the kind we once knew as children before the world asked anything of us. It might appear as music or art or writing. It might appear in the way we speak to someone who is hurting. It might appear in how we learn new things simply because they intrigue us. It might appear in our stillness, in our patience, in our ability to hold space for another person without needing to rush them towards a conclusion. We have gifts now that we did not have when we were younger, gifts that cannot be taught in school or downloaded from a device. They come only from living, from falling and rising, from loving and losing, from watching things change and finding ourselves changed by them. And we carry these gifts quietly like a soft lantern cupped in our hands. So when we feel unseen, we can remember something important. The value of a lantern is not in how many people notice it, but rather in the light it gives to anyone who steps near it. Our presence still matters. Our kindness still matters. Our understanding, our steadiness, our perspective, all of it matters. And we can continue to cultivate these things even now, especially now, because these are the years when depth becomes possible. Not the depth of knowledge alone, but the depth of the heart. The pace of the world may be faster than we prefer, but speed has never been a substitute for meaning. And while society may not call on us with the same urgency it once did, life itself still invites us, quietly but sincerely, to participate, to create, to care, to witness, to connect. We are not finished, not by any stretch. There is so much still alive within us, so much music still to be written, stories still to be shared, compassion still to be given. We are part of a long arc of humanity, a thread woven through generations, and younger people, though they may not always show it, need the presence of those who have lived through enough seasons to know what endures. We do not need to speak loudly. We do not need to insist. We simply need to keep our hearts open and our spirits awake. And in doing so, we remind ourselves that we are still connected to the great flow of life, not outside of it, not left behind, but part of a deeper current that does not diminish with age. If anything, it grows stronger. So when we wake in the morning and feel that quiet sense of uncertainty about our place in the world, we can return to something simple. We are here. We are alive. We are capable of love, of creativity, of kindness, of insight. We are capable of beginning again any day we choose. And even if the spotlight has moved on, the light within us has not dimmed. We can still offer warmth. We can still offer presence. We can still offer depth. We can still offer ourselves. In the end, what we carry is not meant to be wasted. It is meant to be lived, shared gently, expressed honestly, and held with gratitude. We are not invisible. We are simply in a different chapter, one with its own unique power, a chapter that invites us to give not from obligation, but from authenticity, to create not for recognition, but because creation is who we are, to connect not out of fear, but because every human heart, no matter its age, longs to be in relationship with life. And we are still part of this world, still part of its unfolding story, still needed, even when the need is quiet, still valuable, even when the recognition is subtle, still here, with all the love and light and wisdom we have gathered along our journey. So we continue with gentleness, with openness, with dignity, with creativity, and with hope. And in doing so, we become a steady presence for anyone, young or old, who may one day look our way, even briefly, and feel a little less alone as they walk their own path.